He stares at his screen, waiting for that long text, your desperate explanation, or your reaction to the latest provocation he tossed out like bait. But instead of finding your energy to feed on, he finds only an absolute void, an invisible wall where your devotion used to be, leaving him facing a digital ghost of his own making. The panic that begins to rise in his chest isn't because of what you said, but because of the deafening silence that proves he no longer owns a single second of your thoughts, turning his game into a lonely defeat. In dark psychology, the exact moment you become unreadable is the moment you become truly untouchable. In this video, we'll dive into the profound, protective, and transformative insights from dark psychology, drawing from lessons I cherished from my own ascent, from the shadows of people-pleasing into the light of absolute emotional sovereignty. Today, let's explore the deep and life-changing wisdom of dark psychology, as I recall the moments these 7 shadow rules revealed to me how to systematically dismantle the illusion of power he thought he held over your soul. I remember a time when the blue light of a smartphone was a source of terror, a digital leash that kept me tethered to someone else's moods. The sound of a single notification would echo through the room like a crack of a whip, making the air feel heavy, almost as if it were saturated with the scent of stale smoke and old bitter tea. My heart would race, not with love, but with the desperate need to fix a problem I didn't create. I was the ultimate people pleaser, a master of self-sacrifice who thought that if I just gave enough, he would finally be satisfied. But dark psychology always made it a point to remind us that a predator is never satisfied by the plea of the prey. They are only emboldened by it. To win, I had to stop being the prey and become the architect of my own invisible wall. The first shadow rule is the rule of strategic observation. From my time in the depths, I learned that toxic individuals don't actually fear your anger. Anger is a reaction, and a reaction is a form of payment they crave. They want the high of seeing you ruffled, loud, and emotional because it confirms they still have the remote control to your nervous system. But when you observe everything and react to nothing, the script is flipped entirely. Imagine him sitting there, throwing a verbal barb designed to pierce your deepest insecurity, waiting for the familiar sound of your voice rising in defense. Instead, you offer him a calm, blank stare. The silence in that moment is a mirror. It forces him to see his own ugliness, his own instability, and his own desperation. Look at him now, the great manipulator reduced to a child throwing a tantrum in an empty room. Where are your boundaries now? He might sneer, trying to bait you. But you simply watch. In psychology's own words, the one who reacts the least holds the most power. By denying him the explosion he expects, you expose the hollow nature of his threats. The second rule is the law of energy withdrawal. Think back to the times you spent hours drafting a text message, trying to explain your feelings, hoping he would finally understand. You were pouring your life force into a black hole. This second shadow rule dictates that you must stop arguing and simply detach. When you withdraw your energy, you aren't just being quiet. You're becoming emotionally unavailable. This is where the panic starts for him. He realizes that the leash has snapped. He checks your social media, looking for a sign of sorrow, a sad quote, or a hint that you are mourning his absence. He finds nothing. The air around him starts to feel thin, the silence of your absence becoming a weight he cannot lift. He is used to being the center of your universe, and now he is merely an inhabitant of a ghost town. You win not by proving him wrong, but by refusing to participate in the debate of your own worth. If this lesson speaks to you directly, if you have felt the weight of someone else's control and are ready to build your own wall, write in the comments, "I am the architect of my peace." And if you want more content like this to stay protected in this relational game, subscribe now. The third rule is choosing distance over drama. Toxic people thrive in chaos. They are like deep-sea creatures that can only survive in the crushing pressure of conflict. The moment you move to the surface, into the clear, calm waters of distance, they cannot follow. This is the invisible wall in its physical and digital form. You don't need to block him with a flourish of drama, you simply become out of reach. According to timeless dark wisdom, you become powerful the moment you stop giving them access. If he calls, it goes to voicemail. If he shows up, you are busy. Not because you are playing a game, but because your life has become too expansive for his narrow, toxic world. He will try to call you the villain for this. He will tell everyone who will listen that you are cold or heartless. But ask yourself, your inner self would be ashamed if you continued to dishonor your worth for the sake of his comfort. You aren't being cold, you are being selective. Rule 4 is the rule of controlled kindness. This is perhaps the most sophisticated tool in your arsenal. He expects you to be bitter. He expects you to meet his coldness with your own ice. But when you remain composed and civil without being warm, you disarm his entire strategy. It is the kindness of a queen speaking to a distant subject, polite, but with 1,000 miles of distance behind it. Your calmness exposes his instability. When he screams and you speak in a soft, steady tone, you are the one in control. This isn't about being a nice girl again. It's about using composure as a shield. It makes him feel small. It makes his outbursts look like the pathetic attempts at control that they truly are. Drawing from what I learned in Shadows, kindness under control is not weakness. It is a tactical choice that leaves the manipulator with nowhere to hide. The 5th rule is the law of karmic timing. I remember the dark truth being that we often want justice immediately. We want him to feel the pain he caused us right now. But a true strategist knows that toxic people eventually drown in their own manipulation. You don't need to chase revenge. Revenge is just another way of staying connected to him. Instead, you step back and trust the timing of life. While he is busy trying to find a new target or trying to bait you back into the ring, he is neglecting his own crumbling foundation. You simply watch in silence as the architecture of his lies falls apart. There is a profound satisfaction in seeing a manipulator realize that his tricks no longer work on the person who once fell for them all. It is the ultimate karmic retribution. He stays the same, trapped in his loop of toxicity, while you ascend into a version of yourself he can no longer even recognize. Rule 6 is valuing peace more than people-pleasing. The cycle of the pleaser is a cycle of addiction. You are addicted to the hope of his approval. The shadow rule demands that you break this habit by choosing your own peace over his acceptance. Control only works when you crave something from the controller. If you no longer care if he thinks you are a good person, if you no longer care if he calls you names, he has nothing to hold on to. Imagine the scene. He threatens to leave, expecting you to cry and beg. Instead, you offer him a small, knowing smile and say, "I respect your decision." The sound of his own ego shattering will be the only thing filling the room. You have traded his approval for your soul, and that is a bargain you will never regret. Finally, the 7th rule is the mystery protocol. Stop explaining yourself. Stop defending your choices. Silence drives the manipulator insane because it removes the data he needs to control you. If you change your hair, your job, or your city, let him wonder why. If you are suddenly happy, let him guess the source. By becoming a mystery, you become a person he can no longer map out. You are no longer a predictable variable in his life. You are a sovereign entity. This is the climax of your recovery, the moment when you realize that the invisible wall wasn't built to keep him out, but to keep your power in. Dark psychology like to emphasize that the greatest protection is to be unknown by those who wish you harm. And then, like a bolt splitting the sky, the truth hits. The pain you felt wasn't a punishment for being too nice or too empathic. It was a school. The manipulation wasn't your fault, but your recovery is your responsibility. The criticism he threw at you wasn't hurt. It was a desperate attempt to keep you from realizing how much more powerful you are than him. As I recall the moments these truths were revealed to me, I felt a chill of absolute clarity. I wasn't losing him. I was finding the part of myself that he was terrified of. Your worth was saved while his illusions were lost. Think back to the woman you were at the start of this journey, the one who flinched at the sound of a text message, the one who apologized for things she didn't do. Look at her with compassion, but recognize that she is no longer who you are. You have traded that fragility for a strategic, impenetrable peace. The shadow rules aren't about being cruel, they are about being just. They are about ensuring that your soul is a sanctuary that no manipulator can ever enter again. You have dismantled his throne, not with a hammer, but with the quiet withdrawal of your presence. He is now a king of nothing, ruling over a void, while you walk away toward a horizon he can't even see. Thank you for joining me on this journey through dark psychology's wisdom. Remember to apply these lessons in your life, for a rule only has power when it is practiced. Let these insights guide your growth and keep your invisible wall strong. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more transformative content, hit the like button to support our community of empaths turned strategists, and comment below with your favorite rule or a key takeaway you're taking with you today. Stay calm, stay private, and remember that your peace is the ultimate victory.